Back to the Air Canada story now. The airline's move today had been expected for weeks, but the airline's money problems go back much further. Its takeover of Canada's other big carrier marked the start of a difficult ride that's not over yet. When Air Canada gobbled up Canadian Airlines a few years ago, this country's biggest airline became a giant. At the time, the 10th largest carrier in the world, with 40,000 employees, hundreds of planes, and a network of routes that stretched to every corner of the globe. That was 1999. The last year, Air Canada turned a profit. Joseph De Cruz keeps a close look on Canada's airline industry.
Air Canada's problems started with the takeover of Canadian Airlines. First of all, they took on an enormous amount of debt at that time, about $8 billion of additional debt. But more importantly, they took on a whole crew and staff who were really disheartened. And up till today, Air Canada has not been able to properly integrate the employees from Canadian into the main Air Canada airline.
Combining a workforce posed one challenge. Another was the turbulent economic climate Air Canada was about to fly into. By the summer of 2001, the stock market was down and the dot-com boom was going bust. Suddenly, Air Canada was losing some very valuable customers.
Business travel is the mainstay of profitability in Air Canada, and what happened was that the people who were using business class travel in North America all of a sudden stopped because their whole industry collapsed.
As bad as that was, worse was yet to come. A recession in the United States, soaring fuel costs, and the biggest blow it is yet to recover from.
I think September 11 is the knockout punch because it triggered a change in the way business operated. Businesses started asking questions about the amount of air travel, but much more importantly, the use of business class and full fare air travel. So businesses started to travel on promotional fares, which had a huge impact on the revenue of the airline.
What touches the world touches the airline industry. These days, war in Iraq and a global health threat mean people are flying less. Some major European carriers like KLM are considering layoffs. The world's #2 carrier, United, had already filed for bankruptcy protection, and #1 American Airlines just struck a deal with its unions to cut costs. Yet there's something else that's eating into Air Canada's business, the growing power of a discount upstart. Consider these figures for January. Air Canada's domestic traffic fell almost 13% from the same month the year before. WestJet was up almost 52%.
WestJet has a different business model than Air Canada. It's a point-to-point airline, a low-cost carrier, but most importantly, it has created in the minds of its travelers that it's a high-quality airline. So people love to fly WestJet.